You actually played under Sam Allardyce at one point, didn't you? And he said that you were never fully appreciated in England because you played for Bolton rather than a traditional big club. What do you think about that?
Well, I think I'll agree with him, because it's easier when you're playing in a club like Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, teams that are really challenging for the title, than playing for a team that is just they're trying to survive, But what my teammates and I did was to try and change that reputation, because before I signed for Bolton, I was used to playing for the title. I played for clubs that were challenging for the titles. I was already in the World Cup. I played World Cup 3 times before I signed for Bolton. And he could see what we brought in the team, how we changed the mentality. Because when I first came, I met players that were happy to be in the Premier League. But that wasn't my mentality. My mentality was to challenge, to win something, even if it's Carling Cup or qualifying for an European place, and I think maybe that's why he said that maybe I didn't get the credit that I deserve.
What was it like being under Big Sam? Such a big personality, such a big name in football.
I don't think he's a difficult person to work with. We got along very well because we had the same goal, and I think with managers, if they see that you're committed, if they see that you give it your all the time, I don't think that you have any problem there. But of course, his presence, his philosophy about football, makes him look so tough from outside.
I love that you said that. I was going to say, have you got any secret stories you can tell us? First of all, we know that he comes across as very tough. Clearly, he's a bit of a teddy bear. That might be one.
He is a teddy bear. Don't be fooled with his attitude outside. But he loves to win games. He shows passion. He can be a bit unfriendly. If things are not going the right way. But I think it's normal. Behind that big lad, there's a
softy back there, yeah. So from one big manager to another, we've got to talk about Mikel Arteta. Obviously, you played with him when you were both younger at PSG. What was that like?
He is special, I would say, because he came when he was 18, and I've never seen an 18-year-old so confident, wanting to dominate games at that young age, and it didn't take him long to settle down. So we all noticed him immediately and knew that he's got something special.
And would you say that special thing that you saw definitely carried him into being such a great manager?
Oh, yes. I wasn't surprised to see that he became a manager, because from what I saw then, his IQ about football, his personality, it's what we are saying now, because he's gone on to develop himself, and also doing well in what he has decided to do after his footballing career.
And what do you think of him at Arsenal?
I think he's done a great job. I think we could see the progress, since he took over. I know that fans' expectations are so high. Fans are never patient, but we can see that he has built his own team now, and he's been challenging for the title, and I think it's the right time now for him to win the Premier League.
Do you think this is the season?
I think so. I think he's got the best squad in the league.
Yeah.
If not in Europe, and it's theirs to lose this season.
So you reckon we can win more than just the Premier League this season? I say we because I'm a big Arsenal fan, so this is great.
I think so. In football, you've got the chance to win any trophy that you're taking part in, as long as you're still in the race, and who argue that he can win more than one trophy this season. But let's start from one first.
Okay, let's not get carried away with me thinking that we might do the treble.
That's the expectations.
Okay. Arteta's actually spoken very highly of you. So what was it like just being around him, other big players, experiencing that sort of team around you?
I think that the question should be for him what it was
He thought
for
of
him to
you.
be around me, because he was 18. I was, I think, 25, I was signed as a big player. I broke French transfer record when I signed, and he came from Barcelona youth team, but of course, he came at the same time with Pochettino, Heinze, and we had such a wonderful team, and the atmosphere in the dressing room was also special, because we had the Africans, the Spanish, and the French, of course, but all of us trying to speak our pidgin French.
I bet that was a bit of an effort, but you made it work.
It did work. Football speaks every language.
Football is the only language you need. Arteta actually once said that he couldn't decide who was more skillful, yourself or Ronaldinho. In your view, who's better?
Well, I can't say that anybody is better than me, since
like
I've accepted the title of Chief Flair Officer, but Ronaldinho, it's he's what I say, a genius when it comes to football. I think straight away we saw his talent. It was clear for everybody to see. But unlike Arteta, he was already 20 when he signed for PSG, and that was his first club in Europe. So he brought something different, and in a way we clicked, because our foundation was the same. We learned how to play on the street. We were playing because we loved the game, and we played with smile on our faces, and for me, it's difficult to compare both of us, because I think we had a good career, even though he took it a notch higher.
Yeah. Who would you say, because you mentioned quite a few names so far that were at PSG with you, but overall, all the clubs that you've played, who would you say is the most skillful one that you played with?
Oh, without any doubt, Ronaldinho.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it about him that just sets him apart from everybody else?
I could see a bit of me in him. I could see that unpredictable. You don't know what to expect when he's got the ball. And that was my strength as well. So us playing together without communicating, we knew, what we were gonna do, how to ask for the ball, and I think that natural instinct, it's what you can learn. You can't teach any kid, and that's what I saw in him.
So you're obviously tough opponents for other team members, or for opposite team members, I should say. Who would be one of the toughest players that you've played against, not with?
I think it might sound arrogant, but nobody.
Oh, I love that answer.
Nobody, because my strength is when I've got the ball.
Yeah.
And I had so much confidence that I knew that whenever I get the ball, I decide what happens, not the opponent. You can be as tough as you can be, but you can't decide what I will do when I have the ball. So you can only be lucky to guess right. So and that was what helped me, because I wasn't scared of trying things. I wasn't scared of playing the game my way, but for the team, of course. And I never think about who I'm coming up next. I always think about the club that I'm coming up next. Of course, you have to respect the defenders. You have to respect who you're coming up against, because his strength might be defending, but my strength was to attack. So if I can't challenge him when it comes to defending, I don't expect him to challenge me when it comes to attacking.